So please give it up for Velez.
Whose university? Whose university? Hi everyone, my name is Mar and I'm a third year machista here at UCSD. All right. Over 40 years ago, as a part of a movement to begin diversifying the newly established University of California at San Diego, the Mexican-American Youth Association and the Black Student Council at the time came together to begin drafting historical changes so that the university would begin to serve and become accountable to their two disenfranchised communities. In an effort to realize a third world college, the Lumumba Zapata College, they saw the great impact and the effect their communities had when they came together in solidarity. 40 years later, we are still working together in solidarity and still seeing the same exclusion of our communities at UC San Diego. As a part of MECHA and the underrepresented student population on campus, I'm here to let you all know that this attack, although toward the culture of the black population at UCSD, was an attack on all students of color on this campus. This Compton cookout party is a mere window into the kind of exclusion, hostility, and marginalization that we as students of color have to endure on a day-to-day basis at this campus. This kind of day-to-day racism is not just conceded through a party by a few individuals. This kind of day-to-day racism, rather, is made by the climate that me and my compañeros and compañeras have to endure every day. It is part of the institutional neglect towards the needs of students of color in higher education, placing more importance on its prestige and exclusivity for the wealthy and privileged. UCSD condones an environment that is unsafe and violent to students who come from working class backgrounds, who are first-generation college students, and that come from underrepresented and under-resourced communities like myself. I am now a third year, but since my first year, I was keenly aware of how this environment made me feel, isolated and unsafe. If it were not for the small yet very strong entities on campus like the Cross-Cultural Center, the LGBTRC Center, the Women's Center, and one of the most important offices for underrepresented students, OASIS, our community would be even smaller than 1.3% African Americans. Our community would be even smaller than 9% Chicano-Chicana students on campus. And yet, these resources are constantly in risk of their funds being cut. These kinds of threats are death sentences to the students of color here at UCSD. And this has been an imminent concern long before this party. As early as 2006, concerns were brought up by the UCSD Chicano-Chicana Concilio, made up of faculty, staff, and students. Through a series of emails with the Chancellor Mary Ann Fox, we expressed our concern about the toxic campus climate being a ticking time bomb for the wellness of underrepresented students. In an email, we asked for the Chancellor to create a task force on campus climate. Here we stated, we asked specifically for a task force or advisory committee that would implement a series of action plans in a short amount of time. Our fear is that there is a basic misunderstanding here and that the campus's traditional practice of delaying meaningful action has been reproduced in your response. 4 years later, in 2010, we now see the consequences of this university's tradition of delaying implementation of changes for students of color and for overall climate on this campus. Our community efforts and mobilizations today are a clear message that we will not be ignored any longer. This university can no longer run rampant, ignoring the needs of students of color and underrepresented students. This kind of neglect and irresponsibility will be exposed and will make this university, and we will make this university accountable to us from here on. In solidarity, we will create change. Mashika Tiawi.